The 23rd Sunday in Ordinary Time. Examination of Conscience. The Method and Dispositions. Contrition, Resolutions. The examination of conscience is not simply a retrospective reflection on one's own behavior. It is a dialogue between the soul and God. At the beginning, therefore, we ought to place ourselves in the presence of our Lord, just as when we begin any other time of prayer. Sometimes it will be enough to say an aspiration or a short prayer. We may find helpful the words of that blind man of Jericho, Bartimaeus, who asked Jesus for the light of those eyes of his that he could not see. Domine ut videum, Lord, that I may see. Give light to my soul so that I may realize what it is that still separates me from you, and see what it is I ought to uproot and throw away. Help me to see where it is that I ought to improve, whether it may be in my work, or my character, or my presence of God, or my joyfulness, or my optimism, or my apostolate, or my concern to make the lives of those with whom I live more pleasant. Once we have begun the examination of conscience, it may be helpful to consider how our day will have appeared in our Lord's eyes. With the help of our guardian angel, we can try to see it reflected in God as in a mirror, for we will never come to know ourselves if we do not try to know God. Then it is the question of considering our behavior towards God, our neighbor, and ourselves in a more detailed way. This will be done by briefly reviewing the day, proceeding either from hour to hour or by the various activities that make up our day. We should give special importance to the fulfillment of the plan established for our spiritual life, to the previous day's resolutions for improvement, and to the advice we have received in spiritual direction. This practice of piety is clearly a very personal one. However, through spiritual direction, we can receive a good deal of help on how to do it effectively. Contrition is the most important part of the examination of conscience, which usually is brief, lasting just a few minutes. If it is sincere, our sorrow will lead to some resolutions, which again ought to be few, often just one, specific, and perhaps small. For example, we may conclude that we need to discover some way to turn more frequently to our guardian angel, or to be more punctual for work or for Mass. We may note the need for us to have a smile, even though we may be tired or not feeling very well, or to be more kind and considerate. We could perhaps be putting more intensity and struggle into our mental prayer. We may see the need to have recourse more frequently to the Virgin Mary, or to Saint Joseph, or to Jesus present in the Blessed Sacrament. We may want to finish a particular task well, without giving in to any tendency to take shortcuts. We may see how to fulfill one of our small mortifications better, or how to add one at meal times, or in the interests of better personal order. We may decide not to let another day pass without inviting a certain friend to attend a retreat. We should foster a sorrow which is heartfelt, even though the fault be slight, and along with it, we must ask God's help to fulfill these resolutions. Otherwise, even the small resolutions will not be carried out. We will also see the good deeds of our day, and these will lead us to be grateful to our Lord. With this in mind, we will be able to rest with our souls full of peace and joy, and will be desirous of setting out again tomorrow along this way of love, of God, and neighbor.